In regards to the number of people that we currently have on staff, we have approximately 75 personnel on staff, and that's split up between roughly we have 31, I believe it is, sworn deputies, and that includes all the way up to lieutenant. The communication staff, Jill, how many do you have? 11? 11, and then the bulk of that would be, the rest of that would be the jailers that we have. You make a great point on the medical costs. Even if we arrest somebody and we're en route to the jail and the person has seemingly no medical issue whatsoever, if they say, hey, I need to go to the hospital, and it happens all the time, specifically with when we arrest like an OWI type situation, one of the first things they try to do is say, hey, and Doc Severson's nodding his head because he knows exactly what I'm talking about, because as an ER doc, that's where they go. And we have to take them there. By law, we're pretty much mandated to get them medically cleared. And that's an issue that they socket to us on. We have been doing a little bit more proactive job. However, when we do get a let's say a nonviolent offender who does have a medical issue, you know what? We're going to put you out on a furlough, and you're going to be out of the jail, and you're going to be responsible for your own medical care and costs. And that's something that we need to look at. We need to continually evaluate our jail staff and our prisoners, and making sure that they're up to date on the latest and greatest policies and procedures. Oftentimes we're making calls late at night to the lieutenant, to the sheriff, saying, hey, we got this guy and here's the situation. And we get authorized either by the jail or by them to put them on a furlough. And that's something that we need to continually evaluate, because Tom's not kidding when he says, they're socking it to us for medical costs. It's hitting us huge. And that's really something that's hard to put down in your budget, because you don't know how hard you're going to get hit. And we currently were in a situation with this person that got shot here in the shooting not that long ago. We're paying for their medical care as well too. And that's something that's, again, you can't plan for it. It happens. And you really got to do your best to stay on top of those and manage those situations when you can. Did I miss anything else?
Ditto. Obviously, he answered most of Tom's questions. I have a little bit of insight on some of the medical stuff. My wife, Donna, who's here, is the jail nurse. She's a public health employee that's assigned over at the jail. So she is not an employee of the Sheriff's Department. If I would get elected, I'm not in her chain of command. Yeah, there you go. They've started doing some more creative things. They're actually charging the inmates for nurse visits. They are putting some of those costs back on the inmates, and I think that's great, and we need to continue doing that where and when we can. And I agree with Tim on the other stuff. If they're nonviolent, and if we can get rid of them, put them on bond or put them on furlough, if they need to go to one of the hospitals, then we do that. There are going to be cases, though, when we can't do that, and the county, unfortunately, is going to get socked with the bill. It's happened several times, and it's going to happen in the future. Through great nursing care, hopefully we can avoid a lot of that, or at least be ahead of the game a little bit to know what's coming up. And I know she spends a lot of her time when we know we have a problem inmate coming, or a medical problem inmate, working out other avenues so that we don't end up taking some of that cost. The history with Polk County has been that most of them will stay till retirement. It's starting to change a little bit in the last 10 years or so, where the younger guys coming in don't seem to set roots in. And I'll certainly give Tim a chance to respond. But that's what I've seen. I came from a department, Toma Police Department, and that was strictly a training grounds. It was real tough to keep anybody past 2 years. You just got them trained up and get all their certifications, and they leave and we start training another one. So that's a real important thing, and hopefully through whether Tim or I am elected, if we can make those leadership changes and get where the people want to set the roots, that's the best thing that we can do to keep costs down in the training and not recidivism because they're not in jail, but that's the idea.
I'm going to take a little bit of a different answer than Pete gave you. Yeah, we have lost a few people here in the last few years, and I attribute some of that to our current management style and current, I guess, management team that's working there right now. In fact, I can give you an example of a really young go-getter who was working for our department, left due to some, he felt no opportunities for advancement. And this young man now currently went to Minneapolis PD and tried out for their SWAT team, and which is a very elite unit in Minneapolis, and made it with shining, flying colors. And we lost a tremendous asset to our department just due to the fact that we are not providing opportunities for advancement. And again, that's just one of a few I could name where this has happened. And where I see leadership making a difference there is, again, when we assign people to certain positions, it should be known that this is an assignment. It's not like you're a professor at a university. It's not like tenure. When you get there, you're not on easy street. You go there, you do your job. And if we, let's say, and I'm going to use investigations as an example, I'm not saying we need to rotate all investigators out, but I do think we need to provide opportunities for some of these younger guys to go in there, get their feet wet a little bit, do a year or two, and then put them back out in the street. By doing that, we've created an opportunity for them, 1. 2, we've advanced their career. 3, we've put a better street cop back out on the street, because now that person's going to be familiar with the court system as far as obtaining telephonic search warrants, all the different things that investigations do. So therefore, we don't have to call on-call investigators at overtime. We have guys on the street right now that can solve those crimes. And by continuing to rotate people through there and giving them opportunities for advancement, again, using your people for everything you can get out of them, we're going to be able to retain people. We have taken in some great new hires, but then again, we've lost some valuable veterans, and we need to try to encourage that, keeping those senior, knowledgeable members on our department and on our streets.